Hello, everybody. Um, I'm going to start doing some live videos that I hope will help um, make a little bit more sense of me and some of my posts on Facebook. Um, if we're still friends, um, I really, really have a strong desire to help people understand mental health or um, the idea of wholeness, in our minds and what that means. Um, I'm one of those really cerebral people, so like I like information and studying, and so I'll probably throw some of that stuff in there. But right now, to be honest with you, I'm just not there. So, but it's important to me that when I like burn down, torch things, that I try to come back um, and at least explain a little bit more about it. And so today it's just going to be a little thing. I'll schedule some more so y'all know if you have any interest. But I want to talk about what mental health is and what it means. And I know that there's a ton of people out there who talk about this. There's amazing podcasts. I'm all about the Immeasurably More podcast that's run by Jill and Aaron Kelly. Um, and that's a really great one. That's a great one. There's a lot of other ones too, but Dr. Henry Cloud, if you're familiar with the Cloud Townsend books and things like that, he's got a really good, great resource called, I think it's called Boundaries.me. Really big fan of Dr. Les Carter. And he does a lot of work on narcissism, but other stuff too. I've got a big old thick book about depression skills that he wrote with somebody else. He's a Christian guy based in, I think he's in Waco now, but he had a long practice in Dallas for a long time. And some others, I'll mention, but um, I'm trying to think if there's somebody I'm missing. But anyway, so, somebody told me when I was starting to go through all this bananas about 2 years ago that I needed to go take care of my mental illness and read the Bible. And gosh, like I am probably the zillionth person who is saying that that's like the wrong thing to say to somebody, whether you're a Christian or whether you're not a Christian. Like, it's not a good thing to say to somebody because it's likely that they already are reading the Bible. It's likely that they already have it in their heart. It's likely that they love the Lord probably more than many people that you know. But mental illness is not a moral failing. It is just like having a heart condition. It's a medical issue. Um, but let's focus on what mental means. So, mental usually, refers to mind, right? But in in our culture, when you have a mental illness, you go to see a psychologist who is like a doctor therapist kind of, or you might see a therapist who is not a doctor but they have, advanced degrees in counseling, or you might see a psychiatrist who is somebody who dispenses medication and tends to deal with perhaps more severe psychiatric issues. But the word psych, so psychiatrist, psychologist, psychiatry, psychiatric. And I think about it when I was a kid growing up in like the late 80s and 90s, and we used to always say, I'm psyched up for this, or, psyched me out, or whatever. And it's the word psyche, psyche. In Greek, it's suke. And in Greek, it means soul. So when we're talking about psychology, psychiatry, it means the soul. So the study of the soul, the kind of healing of the soul, and I wish there was something called like a psychology, because that would be like philosophy, kind of like psych. I don't know how to like think about it right now because I'm on some meds, but because I would love for there to be a study about the love of the soul. So most of you know I'm a born again Christian, evangelical, like spirit filled Christian. Been that way for a long time. I have no shame in any of that. In fact, that's it. You know, like it's everything. But it's really hard. I also know to see people, someone who says that, and but then the next day they're like raging, angry, wanting to like not live. So I know the conundrum of that. I'm only going to go on for 4 more minutes here, but back to psyche, suke. It's our soul. Our soul is what we are, who we are, outside of our body. So that's our mind, which is our intellect. You know, like our ability to think, reason. You know, smarts. Most of you probably have a high intellect, right? It's our mind. It's our will, our choices, our volition, and our emotions, which is our heart, or our heart, which is our emotions, how we feel, how we perceive things through our senses, and how like God has created us with the ability to have these. My kid's playing Roblox or something. So it's our mind, our will, and our emotions. That's our soul. So mental health really isn't about just your mind or your intellect. It's about your soul. And I have a great friend. I'm not going to name her now just in case she doesn't want to be named, but my mom was really good friends with her and her husband when we were growing up. We lived very close to each other in Niagara Falls, and me and my sister grew up with her older 2 kids. And I mean, like, I just remember a lot of prayer meetings and like a lot of coffee sessions between them. And I've spoken to her in the past several years, and just, she tells me a lot about how we can have mental health issues because of imbalances in the chemicals in our brain and in our system, but also soul wounds. Like our souls get wounded. Our souls are who we are. That's what God breathes our souls, right? So then He puts us into a body, and our body is how we experience those things. And so sometimes we can be so devastated in our emotions that we have a soul wound, like a heartbreak. Sometimes we can be so devastated in our mind that we have like a break with reality. Sometimes we can be so devastated in our will, our volition, that we have the inability to make wise choices. We live in a fallen world. Satan roams around like a roaring lion, just sucking us up. I cannot tell you why some of us seem to be like better prey for him. Well, I mean, maybe some reasons why, but I'm just getting sick of it. Like, I want him to move on to something else. Like, find a better candidate, because I don't, I'm not going to taste all that good, like, but, so mental health is really about our soul. And God created our souls. God is the one we need to heal our mental health. God also made doctors to help heal us using antidepressants or antipsychotics or tricyclics or MAOIs or all different treatments. ECT, electric shock therapy, transcranial magnetic stimulation, all that kind of stuff. So that's what really mental health is. It's about the different things that cause us through our mind, our intellect, our will, and our emotion, our heart, to suffer or to be strong. So mental health, mental wellness, mental illness. So I just want to throw that out there, and I'll come on again. I don't know when, some other time soon, maybe even later tonight, and talk a little bit more about some of the other parts of it and some of the things that I deal with and some of the things that God has done in the past couple weeks. Since I know some of you have followed me and my washout, I've been going through a washout of medication, and what that has meant. So, if you did watch this, thank you. I'd love to have more people watch, but mostly I'd love to have more people comment so that I can understand more and that if I can ever answer anything, you can understand more. I always love you all, even when I sound like a raving lunatic. Um, so, thanks for watching and for paying attention to me. And I just hope that I can help in some way. So, take care, everybody. God bless you.